Good morning, Team Titleist. My name is Ludvig Åberg, and today I'm going to go through my bag. So we're going to start off with my golf ball. I'm playing the 23X, and I mark it very, very easy. I put a little black line on it, and I've played it ever since it came out. It probably started sometime in college when because I wanted something simple, and I used the Pro V1X line when I lined my putts, but I didn't like the black line because I never really liked how the black line was rolling because it would get into my head, and unless it rolled absolutely perfectly, I would, question myself and doubt it. But I use this just for the alignment, and then obviously I needed something to differentiate my ball to the other guy, so I just came up with a black simple line. We play so many rounds, and you don't want to question your equipment. If you make a bad swing, you want to blame yourself and no one else. So that's where the ball comes in. And obviously you're playing a lot of different conditions, the weather, the green, the grass types, different kind of things. So it is very important to trust your equipment, and that's what I do. I've never ever questioned the Titleist golf ball. It is the #1 ball in golf, and there's a reason for that. I think I build my game around my driver, and I get really good spin numbers with my driver. It doesn't get too high, it doesn't get too low. Even though I tow it a little bit, it still stays over 2,000. Even though I heel a little bit, it usually stays under 3,000. So that's what I'm looking for. And then obviously putting, chipping, if you want to compete on the PGA Tour, you need to put some spin on the ball around the greens. And that's what I feel like Pro V1X is doing for me. So next up is the driver. It's my favorite club because it goes the furthest. So I'm playing the TSR2. 9 degrees is on a D4 setting. So I've played this ever since it came out. I really love it. It still has that classic look from a Titleist driver that hasn't really changed over the years, but it still performs so well. So it is my favorite club, like I said, and it's been good for me. I mean, no matter what driver you play, the good ones are always going to be good, but that's not really how you play golf, unfortunately, because you're going to miss it off the center. You're going to hit it off the heel. You're going to hit it off the toe every now and then. So for me, when I hit it off the toe, the spin numbers are still very good. It doesn't really go under 2,000, which just obviously makes it stay in the air longer and doesn't get that left miss. And then the heel ones usually stays around under 3,000, which, if you are in that little gap, that zone, I think that's when you can perform. Because like I said, you're not gonna hit every driver great, but if you can kind of narrow down your misses a little bit, that's gonna be key. I like to hit a pretty straight ball, but if I miss it, I want it to leak a little bit to the right. I think that's the absolute easiest way to play a driver, because the hard left miss is usually the difficult one to play with. But if you can somehow hit a pretty straight one, and then if it leaks a little bit, that's okay too. I mean, I guess my swing is pretty neutral. I don't like to see too much going on, but it also depends a little bit on what the hole looks like. Obviously, if you got trees on the right side or left side, you can curve it a little bit the way you want to. So next up is my 2-iron. It's my trusty club. It's the TMB 718 series. I've had it in the bag for a while. I actually don't know when I put it in, but a couple years ago. It goes about 230, 235 meters off a tee. And it's just a really nice flight. Feels like I'm hitting a 4-iron, but it goes a little bit further. And it's just a great club to have whenever it starts to get windy, conditions are a little bit wet, like a few of these tournaments that we play in. So I think it's a nice club to have, and it's been very good to me. I like it because it doesn't really have that offset. It looks like an iron, but it doesn't feel like an iron. It has a little bit more of a cavity back, which makes it feel a little bit softer and goes a little bit further. And I love to hit it off the tee. It's probably one of my favorite clubs to hit, and I can hit it high, I can hit it low, and I think that's the most important thing. So next up is my irons. I actually just ahead of this season switched into these. They're the 23 T100s. I've never been kind of the blade guy. I feel like I need all the help that I can get with my iron. Golf is hard enough. So, I really like the look of it, feel of it. It performs really well, and I feel like an iron is such feel based. Obviously you want the numbers and the trajectories to match up what you feel, but it's so much what you see, look, feel. And I really love to feel the rounded edges, the semi-thin top line. With an iron, you're not going to hit the same flight all the time. You might hit one a little bit higher. I like to do a little bit of everything with my irons. If I have a left pin, I might want to draw it in there. If I have a right pin, I might want to cut it in there. So if I can have that same feel no matter what shot I'm hitting, how the, you know, club goes through the turf. I'm more of a soft feel guy, and I feel like these irons have that soft feel. I don't feel any pinginess. I don't feel anything like that when I hit them. It's very clean. It's very nice and soft. So moving into the wedges, I got 3 wedges in my bag every week. Gap wedge, sand wedge, lob wedge. I'm using the SM10's 50 degree 8 bounce F grind. I've, you know, used these SM10s. I've made the switch right before the holidays, and, you know, they're so nice. Like I said before as well, feel is so important with the wedges because you're going to hit a lot of chip shots, a lot of bunker shots, and if you don't like the feel, the sound, the look of it, you're going to have issues getting it up and down. So that's what I feel like. And then obviously the rounded edges around the toe, the top line, absolutely love it. The 50 and the 54, they're always going to be in my bag no matter what the conditions are. So I got the 5410S. So it's a little bit more balanced than the gap wedge. And then I rotate my 60, my lob wedge, a little bit more. My go-to is the 60V. So it has a little bit less bounds than the one I'm usually using. So if I'm on bent grass or Poana or rye, I usually use this one because I feel like the turf interaction is really nice. Bunker shots are great. And then I usually rotate around the 8M as well. So it gives me a little bit more bounce. And because you basically want the options. I like chipping with my 54 as well because it has more bounce than the 60. So sometimes you're in a bunker and there's a lot of sand and I feel like the 60 is going to dig too much. I might go to the 54, open it up and use the bounce a little bit more. So I think, like I said before, you know, wedges and chipping in short game is such feel based, what you like, what you don't like. Some guys like the leaning edge a little bit more. I don't like that. So I try to find my ways around that, I guess. Play the 8M in Hawaii and it was great. Easy switch, performs great, a lot of spin. It reminds me a little bit of the irons where it has that rounded top line. It's very nice, it's very good looking, clean. That's what I feel like Titleist in general. They have that clean look. Nothing fancy going on. It's just nice and clean, which, you know, I like. I felt like I've been a member of Titleist for however long, 10, 15 years. So it was a super proud moment where I became a member of Team Titleist. And we played a junior tournament when I was maybe 12 or 13. We played at my home club in Sweden. And I ended up making, it was so weird. I made a hole-in-one when I was like 12 and it was 13. And it was the best day ever. And I remember I had a picture with a Titleist golf ball.